All right, now I can take off
Garbage,
this
garbage.
god-awful teleport mode. I don't want this teleport. Ugh.
That was really fast, though. You're faster than normal.
I know. I mean,
Royal, he
you
just
got to do
clips through
that.
the fucking floor.
Yeah. No,
That's
I
why I made
was.
that meme of him with the flying samurais, because he just flies around with his fucking modded menu thing.
Okay, here we go.
All right, GG's, man. That was awesome.
Good games.
GG, man. That was. You actually gave me a workout. Usually this game doesn't.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm freaking sweating right now. All right, we'll wait for you to post it. We'll post ours
chugged
as soon
my
as we get
whole
results.
Cool.
Alright,
Yeah, I'm excited.
I hope you got the screenshots.
I got the whole
I'm
recording.
pretty sure he
This
does.
whole thing was recorded. You
got
guys okay with me posting all of it?
I bet.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, let me change off of push to talk. I keep forgetting I'm on push to talk. 1 second.
I'm surprised I died so many fucking times. I never die.
Yeah, so I have this whole thing recorded. Are you guys okay with me posting the whole thing?
Of course.
Yeah, that's cool.
Cool, nice. Yeah, I'll have to bleep out all those curse words. Just kidding. No, I don't think it matters.
Let me just swear really loud so you have to.
Yeah, just say the worst possible words you can think of right now, and then
It began with the forging of the three slurs. 3 letters were given to the homos, the gayest of all.
oh,
For
actually,
the Jew
so
lords.
one strategy that I'm gonna share because why not?
And
Is
6
that
for the blacks.
because I was using teleport, I was never like physically moving,
Mhm.
so I had stillness. I don't know if you guys know what stillness is, the exo perk.
Oh yeah, so you'll automatically heal.
Yeah, when you're still
Oh, you
on
were
top
gaining health
of
the whole time.
on top of vitality. So whenever I got hurt, I was like instantly healed. So yeah, I didn't really worry about getting hurt too much, and I could just teleport around and freely do my thing. So yeah, it's worked out pretty well, and we'll see how your teammate does. But
All he's
Yeah.
got to do is get 100 over those 90s and you're screwed.
Yeah.
yeah, if he gets 100s, I will be impressed because Dan, I know for sure is fast. Like he's pretty fast, maybe not as fast as you, Assassin, but like he can do pretty well. He's got some good shots, and H is a little slower, but he's got a lot of hours in this game. He tends to know his stuff pretty well, so it might be tough. And of course, they've got a strategy going, so your teammate, I would be very impressed if he did better than I did here, but we will see. We will see.
It's possible.
It is definitely possible. And then, I guess, do you know if there's a consolation round for third place? Because
No.
no clue. Yeah,
No.
I guess we can ask about that because whoever loses this gets either tied for fourth place or gets to play the other guys that lost over there. And then, yeah.
Either way, it was really fun to get this far, regardless of the meta.
Oh yeah, I wish I had an extra game. I think we were supposed to play another team that just like for fun or something, or an extra round. I'm not exactly sure what happened to that. But yeah, I might just
Specifically picked a build for this. Like my knives are vampire, they explode.
Cool.
And my bow is ice legendary 120 plus criticals. So it's got 3 arrow types.
Nice.
But if I
You
drink a
said
power potion.
you said critical ice and what was it?
It's just criticals and ice.
Criticals
but
and
if
ice.
you add impale, that gives you a 200%. This
Yeah.
gives you 300%, and if you drink a core damage, that's 2,000%.
Yeah,
So I was doing up to 2,000% damage a shot. I was one-shotting the purple ones.
that's pretty impressive. Except when you had ice, you weren't one-shotting them. But
No, but if I
But
shoot
yes.
them with ice, the next shot kills them.
yeah, exactly.
That's why.
But see, a lot of times they were frozen, and I would tag them while they're frozen, and so I got
I
that
noticed.
bit
I
of
was
an
like, God
advantage.
damn it,
there.
I'm
Yeah,
so slow.
that's why I went with a crit bow instead.
Yeah.
That way they would go straight down.
But it really depends though, because a lot of times I feel like ice is still better, even though I can tag them when they're frozen, just because when they're not frozen, they can dodge, and tier 7 enemies dodge so often. And like
Yeah.
it doesn't even matter how good you are, how good your aim is, they're just gonna immediately dodge it.
With,
Yeah, I
so-
still had to hit them like 5 times.
yeah, but
for
when
me
you
to hit them only like 3 or 4 times and kill them is still really fucking good.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not insta-killing them.
right, but ice, like when you hit them once with ice, you just have one more shot to go, and it's hard to miss that second
I
shot.
can show you something cool. My fire speed on this thing is ridiculous.
Sure, show me. Can you get the bullseye?
Even Royal can't keep up with me when it comes to this.
Wow.
Hit the bullseye.
Yeah, a little bit of a miss on the bullseye, but that's accurate enough that it works in the dungeons. That's pretty impressive. Dang.
Just gotta find your
Here,
center.
let me show you my fire speed. Ready? Oh yeah. Woo!
Yeah, but yours got a nerf. Mine didn't.
Yeah, I know. It's
I mean, keep this fire speed. I don't have to reload.
True. I do prefer bows. Yeah, I wonder if I can. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm firing faster than you overall, even though I have to reload, just because every motion you do is kind of like a reload. But maybe, I don't know. Maybe yours is faster ultimately. I would be really curious to see if they had like a lab that they created in this game, so you could test out the exact damages, compare, and like you could time your damage, how much DPS you could get, and to see like if
I want to see how many headshots I have.
yeah, exactly. I want that headshot percentage. Oh my gosh, yeah, that would be awesome. Stats. I've been seeing
people just sit there and just go.
Yeah.
And I'm just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's dead. Like all of them are dead, and it doesn't matter what difficulty if it's on. If it's like 5 or below, they're just dead in one shot.
Yeah. No, I'm really excited for the dungeons though that are going to be like pre-made dungeons, and they're challenges and assignments, and then
I hope so.
Yeah, and then we can do like speed runs, and they'll time it, and there will be leaderboards for those specific dungeons.
I've got one that he gave me.
Sounds awesome.
And it's like 23, 25 rooms,
Wow.
17 to 9. No, it's 19 chests and 5 bosses.
Wow.
I counted the enemies. It's like 190 to 200. It's fucking ridiculously high.
That's pretty awesome. What do you mean you counted the enemies?
The fact that I got 19 items from one level is stupidly fucking insane. That's like 5 levels worth of stuff.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, I ran it on tier 7, and I was like beyond fucking exhausted because I killed 80% of everything, and I carried the group, and it was like everything was meat sponges.
Yeah. Oh, actually, you guys know about this whole big mega lobby coming out in the next update, right?
What mega
I've been
lobby?
hearing rumors about it, but I mean,
so
you explain it a bit more.
Yeah, the developer, gosh, what's his name? Quaker X, Ryan. He mentioned in his last interview with Rough Talk, I don't know if you know those guys, but that interview, he said that the next big update they have is something they've been working on, which is this mega hub, mega lobby, mega outpost. And I think it will hold around 8 people, if not more. And it's more of like a social hub than anything. I don't think it's like a dungeon or like a, what do they call those big raids?
I wonder how that'll work, because a lot of these rooms get broken and then you can't even use them.
Right. I do wonder about that as well.
Before that.
Right.
I think it's not going to work at the beginning, and they're going to need to patch it.
Well, they might also make a whole different room for that specifically, and they might make the room optimized for less bugs.
Just that.
Yeah, and like maybe they wouldn't have those ledges that you can jump off of that tend to create bugs, and I don't know, maybe I don't know. I'm not a developer. I don't know how they would optimize it, but maybe they will, and maybe it'll be easier and nicer. But for this, for example, like it would be awesome if right when we finished this tournament round, we could just hop in that lobby with all 6 of us and just like
we could talk all together.
Yeah, and just like hang out. And there's gonna be, I think, like
definitely work for future tournaments, because they're going to have more of these.
Oh,
this was really
totally
good.
Yeah, this was really good. And I mean, it was a community-based tournament, so the developers weren't really involved until we asked them to be. But I think it's gone pretty well, and I think there's hope of this potentially going into the game in the future.
It's positive. It's not even a toxic one. Like I've been in ones that are like, oh, everyone's against each other, and this was like
because it's not PvP, so you're still like working towards a fairly quote unquote similar goal, but like you've got teammates too. You've got 2 teammates you got to work together with, and it's definitely pretty cool. The one thing I kind of have qualms about is that the attacker is just alone in the room. I mean, with you guys, you actually talked, but my last lobby, they were in like a separate call together, so I couldn't even talk to them.
Screw that.
And
I gotta talk to my opponent.
yeah, but I mean, if this became super competitive, then you wouldn't want to talk to your opponent. You would want to keep those comms hidden. So yeah, that's just another thing they got to figure out. But I'm sure they will, and maybe they'll find other things to do. But yeah, no, it's definitely exciting stuff. And
This was pretty good. I'm glad we fought you. This was really, really fun. I used to host events on my Township Tales server back in the day. We used to do teleport pot dodgeball, where we'd have colored cosmetic teams, and we'd throw potions at each other that turn you to spawn, and it was like 5 blue team people versus 5 red team people, and you skinned all your outfits red and blue.
Yeah.
And the winner would get like custom rewards, like leather for their bags, or custom weapons, or custom materials, or what they wanted.
That's
and
pretty
it was
cool.
kind of like this, but on a large scale.
Okay.
I liked that it was like community based.
Sweet.
This brings back a lot of memories from my community.
And wait, what game was that?
Township Tales.
Township
I
Tales.
had
Okay.
2,500 hours in that game.
Wow.
So fun.
Wait, so did they like intended like did the developers implement natively PvP kind of stuff, or was it all
It's
PvE?
actually all optional now. Originally,
Okay.
back in the day, 5 years ago, it was all intended. There were only 6 servers, a few hundred people, and PvP was always on. If you died, you lost all your items and progress.
Yeah.
But now that's all turned off, so it's now you have to turn on PvP in the menu settings as an admin, and you can turn off death drop, so when you die, you don't lose your items anymore.
Oh, cool.
Because it was like Minecraft originally. You go down into the caves 80 floors in, you die, you lost your whole bag and all your weapons you forged over the last 30 hours.
Right. That's annoying. Yeah, that I really don't like games like that because of that. It just feels like I wasted
They've
all my
debunked
time.
that down to if you actually started a server, you don't lose your items when you die.
Right. So that
Only
seems
the
cool.
time it takes to get back to where it was.
Okay. Yeah. So then, is that game like that? Sounds like an
It's on
MMO.
Quest.
Yeah, I know it's on Quest. I've
Kind
looked a
of like
little
an
bit into
MMO,
it.
but it's like you can have up to 12 people. I
Right.
played it with my ex a lot.
Right. Yeah.
My ex was actually in this tournament. Fun fact.
I heard.
I don't know. She got eliminated so fast, dude. It's fucking funny.
But so how do you compare Township Tale to this game? Like, what are the? I mean,
This
they're different
game
games.
is more
but,
of the Township Tales is not a dungeon crawler.
Yeah.
It's got the caves, yes,
okay.
but the caves go down infinitely. But that's different. You have to have a lantern out. You can't see where you're going. It's pitch black unless you have a lantern.
Okay. So it's
You have to
kind of like the dark
consistently mine
rooms.
coal. It's more simplistic towards you have to find heart pieces like in
Okay.
Zelda out in the wilds at night.
So it's like
and there's monsters and an overworld, and there's a climbing tower with parkour, and the caves go down.
Cool.
You can blacksmith your own weapons. There's combat skills. You can air slash opponents with magic, and you can use archery skills, and you can holy shot them.
Sweet.
There's other skills where you can use mining. You can use carpentry, and you can carve your own wooden handles and bows and chisels and shields.
Wow.
And you can mix and match and make any type of weapon. If you can think it, you can craft it. So
Cool.
if you have a weapon handle and you have a million different blades, you can mix and match different pummels and blades and then bang them out in different materials. There's 10 different material types, and the potions are pretty much endless depending on how you use them. If you use a recipe book, you can multiply your combat skills damage-wise for like 10 minutes, or you can multiply your defense.
Wow.
I maximize defense, and it makes you glow. I call it Super Saiyan, so it makes you glow gold.
Cool.
And you can take 4 times the damage, so you can just run in and murder things, and you can fight hordes of monsters with your friends. But you can always, so you buy your cosmetics with real money, but you keep them forever, and you can color code any of them infinitely in any color.
And the cosmetics don't like give you anything outside of just looks.
No.
Yeah, that's the
Just looks.
ideal model that I like when it's not pay to win kind of
It's
stuff.
like this, but you could see all the details unlike our hands, but you could color code, and you take a paintbrush and you paint your gloves blue or green or teal or
Sweet.
yellow or white.
Yeah,
And you can use 2 different brushes to iconically, so if it's got studs on it,
Yeah.
you can color the studs gold and make the glove red.
Wow. Yeah, I'm imagining like a lot of those mechanics in Dungeons of Eternity at some point. It seems like those 2 games, if they were combined somehow or like partnership somehow, they could make an awesome like MMO
I don't
type
know. The
game.
devs really kind of gave up on the game. They said they're still updating it, but I don't see it. The PC version and the Quest version are completely different. Like, I owned a Dungeon Tale, so I had a modded menu called Prefabulator. I could build these mega structures, like monoliths, and put monster spawns on cliffs, and people would climb them and kill them for resources and craft with them.
Yeah.
And in the base game, it doesn't have that.
Gotcha. Okay.
So the PC version's a lot more detailed.
Gotcha. I'm going to sit down real quick. If you want to hang out here for a little bit more, I'm going to go to the fireplace and reboundary myself. Okay. And, yeah, just standing up.
That. You can get this one in Quest, but I recommend finding a really good community server before you, like, actually...
Right.
We're actually sitting.
Oh, I'm actually sitting. Yeah, it is kind of weird.
Your character's broken.
Yeah, I got to reboundary myself. Bam.
I want more macaroni. The service sucks here.
Ah, there we go. Whew. This feels nice. I've never actually sat on a couch in these chairs before, so I'm sitting on a real couch. Sitting in these comfy chairs with a fireplace in front of me. This is the dream.
I used to do that. I used to do that in Battlezone VR. There was one on PC. It was called Battlezone, and this is the first VR game I ever got in 2016 on like Christmas.
Yeah.
It was you put the headset on PSVR, and you're put into the cockpit of a Tron-like world tank, and you control the tank and all the guns. And you're in the cockpit, and you can control all the like knobs and levers, or you can use a controller. And you could just blast other pixel tanks with your friends, and it was fantastic. It was like the best game ever.
That's pretty awesome.
They're going into round 3, I guess. They got 103 souls for round 2 and 91 souls for round 1.
So you won.
Not necessarily. He's in round 3.
Yeah,
He's still doing it.
But I'm pretty sure
he beats you.
No, but in round 1 and 2.
What was your score for round 1 and
90, 93, 91, and 90. That was what he got.
Yeah.
So if you can
I guess we did win then. If we're going because we go off base of 2 rounds, and then if we tie, we do a third round, right?
We can play catch. Let's fucking go. What the fuck? Oh, this is sick.
That's funny.
I was just on Sea of Thieves all day with my best friends, and we befriended this one guy. And
so you said there's no.
No, I got it.
So we're just going based off of round 1 and 2 then, right?
What about round 1 and 2?
So we just go based off the scores based off of round 1 and 2, right?
Yes.
What, we're not doing both.
As long as we didn't, because we didn't tie the souls. That's how it works.
Okay.
I thought we add up all 3 and then multiply it at the end.
I mean, the rules were kind of unclear in that sense, but what I got from...
That's what we did before.
Right. But, I mean, what I did for round 1, and I was playing one of the guys that, like, created the rules, so I'm pretty sure they knew what they were doing. Actually, I don't know if he created them, but he was the guy who, like, made the tutorial video. But he... Basically, we only played 2 rounds, and because I won the first and the second, like, overall, we didn't have to play a third. Because I'm pretty sure the third is only if you have the exact same amount of souls combined
score,
in that 1 and 2 round. But yeah, I mean,
trying to do a mug flip.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is total, and maybe we still have a chance to win. But
all he has to do is get 100 again. He gets 100 again, and it's fucking game.
Yep. So, well, it depends on some
strategy for this.
Yeah. I am curious. Is your attacker recording?
No.
I think he's just keeping screenshotting the score.
Yeah. I think one of my defenders might be recording his, so your strategy might be DOSed or doxed or might be unsecreted.
It's a legit strategy. We think I didn't even think about it until we really all sat down and talked about it, and I was like, wow, this would really fucking work if he really did this.
Yeah, you're making me curious. It's nothing that I did.
I just really wish my freaking control wasn't screwed up.
Yeah, he did. If we win and he's got a busted hand, that makes us way more
this
cooler.
Control right here
he's got a busted grip button on his right hand. He almost backed out of the whole turn.
That's crazy. Wait, so how did you even do stuff?
We figured he did it from his left hand, and he rebinded his right hand trigger to actually grab arrows instead of grip.
I can't
So-
grab my bow.
Yeah, see what I'm
Oh my
saying?
gosh.
But he can grab the arrows with trigger.
Wow. I'm surprised you didn't just go
So-
crossbow, because that would be
I
like.
thought he was gonna do that too because he has the ice slowing.
No,
one.
but see, then that's
Yeah.
the thing, though. The crossbow, we would have. It
It's not
doesn't
as
work
good.
really good.
But it does. If you get like, because you're shooting so
Like,
many
it
shots that you
It
can get
does, but-
ice really often, and even though it does very little
But the
damage,
thing is,
if you get the
if
ice,
you have the accuracy like I do, you don't need it because you're so much faster than the
I'm-
crossbow.
well, I
Nine
don't
times
think
out of 10,
so.
I would get more kills than him.
That's the thing, though. I
I
don't
was a-
think crossbow is slower. Like, I'm pretty sure crossbow, if you can be faster,
It is
I
if
think
you're really fast with it.
no, but assassin, like even I'm pretty sure you could be faster with the crossbow than you can with the bow. I understand that, like,
I
you are
disagree.
really fast, but
here's the thing.
how?
I've been using VR for 8 years, and for 5 of those years, there was a game that was like this one called Carnage Chronicles. There was no crosshair, but you had the same exact bow physics for this.
Yeah.
But for another VR game, and all I would do is play it on the hardest difficulty, and I was so shit at using the bow. But it's the same physics. It's the same exact bow physics. You just pull it from your shoulder and you draw it and loose it. And if your aim is on par with how it works, there's no weight to the bow. There's no weight to the arrows, right? So if you're aiming and you aim it vertically, 9 times out of 10, you're going to hit your shot. So I got really good at like cranking my arms and cranking out like 10 arrows in like fucking 3 seconds. That's why I have so many years of experience
Right.
that make it more effective.
So then,
Yeah, the
if
reason
the thing-
reason why I didn't use it is because I'm so used to holding this trigger button down, so my muscle memory. So it's like awkward trying to
Yeah.
reload.
no,
it.
I mean, I think for
So,
most people,
it would work better with my crossbow.
Yeah.
Like, you know, what I'm
if
saying?
you
But-
knew how to, if you like had the muscle memory for it, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like I use it, but
Yeah, and I'm saying, like,
I-
assassin, if you had only been using crossbow for all that time that you were like training with the bow, then because there's less things that you have to do with the crossbow, which I can't even pull out my crossbow right now for some reason.
It's true, but
glitched out.
I prefer the bow because one, my aim outranks the speed of projectiles like that. So here's the thing: maybe
It's- I
5
mean,
or
it-
7 of your 8 arrows are like all explosive, right? My 5 arrows that I shoot, I have another bow that I don't use that I just got recently, 2 days before the tournament started. It's ice and slowing.
Right.
I can freeze a target, slow a target, freeze a target, slow a target, slow a target. That's usually how it goes.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, not for speed wise, but for accuracy and immobilization, I'll immobilize 5 enemies in 3 seconds, and all of them are easier to kill for my whole team.
Yeah. So that's definitely better. I feel like it's better
It
for
was just
support.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
It was more of my support. With the ice criticals, when I gave myself Impale right before you started the tournament, I gave myself a 500% damage boost on critical arrows, plus the strength part, meaning 2,000 damage, all that nonsense. So I did the numbers. It's like
Yeah.
1700% damage if I were to use my critical arrow and it worked.
Did you do the numbers on the
That's why I
crossbow too, though?
I was sitting there with a calculator punching them out, 200%, 300% the power part, and it's like the drop chance in it. Like, if all 3 of them coherent to each other, it would be up to 16 to 1700 per shot because my bow is only 120.
Yeah.
It's not like crazy like 150. Like my best greatsword is like 151.
Yeah.
It's pretty
those
good. but
those
it's
things
like,
get high damage, but yeah, no, you can't crank out the shots on a longsword as much, especially because
And that's
longswords
nerfed.
knock people away.
even
yeah,
if you
this is nerfed.
multiply that by 5, that you're only going to get like a few hundred.
Well, it's if you multiply this by 4, it's stronger than the bow. So if you can shoot 4 shots with this as fast as you can shoot 1 shot with that, then this is better in theory. But that's the thing.
This
I don't know
one-
for sure if it can.
I can't grab it. This one has shot distance. Damn it.
Yeah, I know it gets stuck in
just-
there.
So my arrows go super friggin' far.
Yep. Yeah, I've
I think
used
he's
the.
still cranking. They're still on round 3.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I guess
Tortoise he's pretty broken, dude. Like he got a good strategy like you, but he's still like, he know how to hold his own.
I was gonna decline Royal's option to join his team when he wanted me in his one first spot, because I wanted to see if I could beat him with my own strength. It would be a good testament to my strength if I could beat him.
Yeah.
It would be too easy if the two of us teamed up.
He did ask me too, and I was considering it, but not really because I already had a team. So
that's crazy. He asked me too. So.
Yeah, it was gonna be me and him.
That's funny.
And then he wanted to do it last minute, and I was like, "Fuck that! I'm not doing last minute shit. Get the fuck out of here."
Yeah.
I want to just have a fucking team and not stress out about it because I don't procrastinate.
Yeah, he procrastinated a little too long, or I mean, maybe he just didn't hear about it. I don't think he's on
so
Discord.
funny.
He's not on Discord quite as often as some of these other
No,
people.
It's not as often. It's too bad.
Yeah. Oh well.
I was telling him about another game that's just as good as this. If you have a PC VR, if you're able to do that.
Yeah.
Legendary Tales. Have you played that at all?
Man, I've been really thinking about doing that. I've played some PC VR, but the whole setup, even though it's really not that much, the setup that I have makes it just that tad bit more difficult that I just don't want to go for it.
Dark Souls VR, because instead of having to dodge and run past monsters like this, they're not more or less meat sponges. You have to parry everything.
Right, and they're slower so that you actually can.
They're slower, so you're slower too.
Right.
You're not physically like sprinting. You're like
and you
a
have,
normal person walking.
You have a weight
to
your
dodge ability,
right?
But your gear will slow you down. So if you have a greatsword, you have to swing that greatsword slower. You can't just swing it like butter. Like you can't just swing it like this and hit him.
It's got the artificial gravity. Artificial weight
matters.
Yep. Yeah,
but like you can also
I think they call it drag,
and you can impale enemies, and you can pick them up while they're impaled, and you can throw them.
Yeah. Have you played Gosh, what's the game? It's not Legendary Tales.
Blade and Sorcery?
No, not Blade and Sorcery. It's like the Blade and Sorcery equivalent, but more like Dungeons of Eternity. Here, let me look it up. It's I have it. It's Battle Talent. Have you played Battle Talent?
I played that a little back when it was an alpha. It was pretty good. It's on par with this and that.
Yeah. It's a little janky.
I think I posted a clip in the tournament chat on my Legendary Tales build where I was fighting like hundreds of monsters. Hundreds of them. Because I got so good at parrying, I became Arthur Dane.
Nice.
But then in the end game, two of my buddies helped me get, because all gear is drop chance based. So you get all your gear by a chance of a drop by a monster.
Yeah.
And there's 4 tiers. There's just common, rare, super rare, unique, and then there's legendary. And the legendary ones are, you get a 0.2% chance of getting a legendary. You'll maybe get one in 20 hours of playing.
Right.
So my buddies helped me get 2 Mjolnirs max level. And I upgraded them all the way. And if I charge them and I hit an enemy, he gets zapped by lightning from the sky 7 times. But if I charge both of them and I hit the ground, I zap 15 monsters once with one huge bolt of lightning.
Wow. That is pretty cool.
And that's like 15 bolts of lightning all coming down and hitting all of them at once. It's all.
Yeah. Yeah, the magic seems pretty cool.
Go?
I don't know.
He's all the way on the other side.
He's escaping. But yeah, no, Did you see my post on Discord about gesture-based magic?
I think I did. I saw a lot of suggestions, though. So
there's suggestions everywhere. Yeah, so I mean, my personal favorite suggestion that I've heard about and talked about a lot is gesture-based magic. Just right now, they're kind of is gesture-based. Like you have to click on the trigger. Maybe not like spells, but you have to do actions to do something. Like right now we have gesture-based bows, we have gesture-based weapons. You have to do a certain thing to get a certain thing done.
PC VR on a game called Trickster VR, and it was spell-based combat where you had this fire wand.
Yeah.
And you hold trigger for 2 seconds, and you flick it. And you let go of your trigger as you flick the wand, and it'll throw the fireball. And depending on how hard you flick it and where you aim it, it'll go and homing into enemies on their chest or their head. Well you flick it.
That's pretty cool.
You could hold trigger, but there was a bug with it where you could get accidentally 2 fire wands, and I was
Mm.
just trigger blasting like massive amounts of fireballs at enemies, and it was just absolute chaos. I
That's
sent the
funny.
developer, I was like, normally people get 50 kills. I got 417 in one level. Is that normal? He went, how did you get that many of the kills? I've never even gotten. And I was like, well, I had 2 fire wands. And he's like, well, patch that. And I was like, no.
Yeah. No, that's
It was so sad. And
that is sad.
he had this spell book with the fire wand, and it wasn't a book, it was a shield.
Yeah.
You would hold trigger by holding the book. You held the book like flat in your hand,
Right.
and then when you held trigger, a Doctor Strange orange symbol would spin, and it would be a magic shield, and you could block all ranged attacks and cast fireballs.
That is pretty cool, man.
So you could block everything, but then there was an A button maneuver where if you double tap A, you could dual switch to another weapon like a bow or dual swords. So I would go from magic to dual swords and slash people in the face.
That's pretty cool.
And I wouldn't have to grab off of my shoulder. I could quick swap my weapons. I could quick swap them by double tapping a button.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
That was like, it was the most overpowered thing. And the more people you had, the more enemies you got, and the tankier they got. And they would send arguably 3 times as many as Dungeon sends at you, because they would send so many at you that you wouldn't run out of room to walk.
That's funny. Yeah. Wait, so
and you had miles to run around on.
I have a question for you guys. Do you prefer being able to physically click buttons to complete tasks and like do gestures and like and injure enemies, or do you prefer to have to follow a motion to do that particular similar thing?
I think how they have it set up right now is good because you have options. I can either climb the chain physically, or I can just hold A if I'm tired and noob like my way.
Yeah, no, I do. I agree.
And then
with
you've
that.
got Royals where you grab the chain, teleport up, you're flying for 2 seconds, you grab another chain, fly down to the floor in 2 seconds, and then you're in the next room.
Well, I think the 2-handed weapons, I think they should be more one-handed. Like the physics should be more based off the one hand, because unless they like make the handles longer or like get the weight distribution better, it still feels kind of wonky. Like I know how to use it, but I know how to use it like a broken way, you know?
Right.
Like it's not necessarily just like fluid motion, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, the 2-handed weapons are I mean the long swords, they're kind of janky. I feel like it's really hard in virtual reality to get that right, because they either have to incorporate like this artificial drag, because you're not going to get the weight, not everybody, even if you do get like some accessory that makes it as heavy as an actual longsword, that's only like a select few amount of people that would actually do that. Very, very few people. And so yeah, they're struggling with like the feeling. You have to imagine the feeling, and you can either imagine the feeling with artificial drag that they incorporate into it, or you can have it so that like you have to hold it with 2 hands like we have to do now, and that kind of adds to it. But I mean, like with the greatsword, there is that drag when you do have 1 hand, so they kind of did all of the options where they incorporated the artificial and
Okay, so you know how, take for instance, Sea of Thieves, if you slash a skeleton sword like a few times, they're knocked backwards?
Yeah.
They should add that to this game's enemies, where if you hit an enemy sword, it's not just still walking towards you in a diagonal. If you hit an enemy sword hard enough, it'll stagger him, and then you can counter kill him.
Yeah. The weapons in this game
they need
are
to add countering.
Just like metal, or I mean, they're obviously metal, but like they're
10, I'm shooting this guy's axe 6 times before I shoot him in the face, because his axe is right in front of his face.
Right, yeah, and
he's just
that is
not
annoying.
phased by my 10 arrows in his face just bouncing off of his axe 10 times.
Yeah, or the tip of a sword. Like that happens so much. They just have their sword tips there, but the hurt boxes on those swords, or like the boxes, are just so big.
The sword low and above.
Yeah.
Like if you come down from the right and you come under from the left, it hits him every time.
Right, but it doesn't really help with the bows, because like with these bows you
want headshots.
Yeah, you want headshots.
I'm trying to aim for the crotch or the head.
Exactly. Yeah, and a lot of times they're blocking those, and it is also weird that they're always right-handed, so you always have to go for like the spot that they're not blocking with right hand. It would be nice just add some left-handed enemies so that you can hit other spots. But That's like a whole nother discussion. But I do think
Yeah.
like the fact that the crossbow can't be blocked is another reason that it is just super powerful. That's one of the main reasons, in my opinion, why I think the crossbow is better than the bow.
That's why I think I should use it more, because it's unblockable.
Yeah.
Whereas I can just shoot my bow 10 times and I won't hit somebody sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah. But I mean, the thing is, like, you, for the most part, have really good aim. And
I'm so fast, dude.
Yeah,
I haven't found anybody faster than me.
Yeah, and because the bow does so much more damage, but I think they balanced it really well, though. The fact that we're having this discussion is good, because before it was just crossbows are the most overpowered.
Mine's not just me spamming, just fucking pulling arrows out of my ass.
Yeah.
I'm pulling my bow to my quiver.
Right.
And then I latch it.
Exactly.
And then I snap it forward.
Yeah.
It's not just me just beaming arrows like this.
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
doing
hard.
That.
Yep.
I'm going like this. It's all skill based.
Right.
And then after that,